Mahadev. Jupiter Saturn Ketu Conjunction, which is one of the most powerful, complex spiritual conjunction in Vedic astrology. How do these people survive this spiritual survival like a funambulist? What do I mean by that? Funambulism is a act of walking on a rope, holding onto a shaft, okay, without falling. That is funambulism. Jupiter Saturn people, they are just like a funambulist. They have to become like a funambulist in order to be stable and in order to have balance in their life. Because Jupiter is all about expansion and Saturn is all about contraction, focus in one place, okay. So Jupiter Saturn people, they have to walk like a funambulist in the journey of their life in order to succeed in their endeavors. This I have explained in my Jupiter Saturn video here. If you have only Jupiter Saturn, please watch it here. Now we have Ketu in this conjunction. Ketu, what it is doing? Ketu is the south node, okay, brings in too much of unknown results, right? Very difficult to understand Ketu. Now what does Ketu do? It brings in lot of confusion. Together these three planets brings in lot of confusion. Jupiter is now juxtaposed and sandwiched between these two malefic planets Saturn and Ketu. Okay, Saturn Ketu, what happens? Saturn Ketu also you can watch here. What happens in Saturn Ketu? Here also people become confused of what should be their daily, regular, routine, repetitive, relentless tasks which Saturn represents. Ketu brings in confusion there. And with Ketu Jupiter, what happens? That also I will tag it here. Please watch Ketu Jupiter conjunction if you have only that. Ketu Jupiter, what happens? Ketu cuts away the meaningfulness or the contentment which Jupiter brings into the native's life or to their mind, to their understanding, their realizations. What is that? Meaningfulness. Meaningfulness is just simply how we attach meaning to things. All our experiences. You went for a vacation. Did you like it? Did you feel good? Did you click good pictures? Did you post it on Instagram? Are you happy about the likes and the follow and everything? That is meaningfulness. Then yes, the vacation did bring contentment to your life. Okay, like anything, like the vacation, anything that we do when we feel it is meaningful, when we feel satisfied, content, which brings in happiness. Santu sadhanuttamah sukha lavah. Okay, it's the contentment which brings happiness. Patanjali Maharaji said that. So, what happens? Ketu here comes and he plays the villainous role. He takes away, chops away the contentment, the meaningfulness. First, he makes the person confused of what he should be doing, what should be his relentless daily routine repetitive tasks. Then even if he engages in such tasks, the person doesn't feel fulfilled or he feels meaningful. That is it good which I am doing? I have selected science after passing my 10th grade or 10th class. Do I really like this physics, chemistry? I should have taken something else, history or geography, something. Okay. Or somebody doing their engineering, they're thinking, I'm doing this mechanical, I should have taken automobile engineering. Somebody doing computer science engineering is thinking, I should have taken the other one, the machine learning and AI one. Okay, I don't like this. Engineering, mathematics is troubling me. So like that, even in the later words, whether they're in their marriage or whether they're doing their job, mostly before the mid 30 or before the early 30, these confusions are rampant. Okay, which I have seen in many examples. Many people have come to me with this particular conjunction, confused, okay, and unfulfilled. So even though few of them were doing really well, businessman or some good employee. So what is the result? See, what is the cure? What is the solution? See, why I call it a spiritual survival. Spiritual survival, right, of the funambulist mind. Funambulist mind you understood, okay, that one has to become a funambulist in order to have the balance and the steady growth of Saturn Jupiter growth. But the spiritual survival is, because here the spiritual clarity which brings in that meaningfulness or the contentment or the happiness is always getting hammered or mal influenced by these two malefic planets, Saturn and Ketu. What is spirituality? Very simple. Knowing yourself. Who am I? That is spirituality. Okay. If you are egoistic and you know that I have been too egoistic, I have been too boisterous, I should probably become more humble. Okay. Then you are spiritual, because you can recognize that you are egoistic. Okay. You are arrogant, you are arguing with someone with a lot of arrogance, and you come home and you reflect, I have been too arrogant, too loud, too rude, and then you can reflect on that, then you are spiritual. Okay. You are confident, you are doing something, okay, and you are getting results. You are determined, you are doing it on a routine, repetitive, that Saturnian manner and getting results, and you are seeing, reflecting, yes, I had the self-faith, self-trust, and that's why I got the result. Then you are spiritual, because you can identify as well as your flaws and your virtues. So that is being spiritual. Spiritual doesn't mean that you immediately get into nirvana, or you have to go to the temple all the time, or you have to wear a bunch of tilak, okay, and wear some kind of dress, okay, in order to look spiritual or be spiritual. Spirituality is within. Whatever you can do, you wear a suit or you wear a t-shirt, whatever you wear, the spirituality lies within. So here what is happening, the spiritual survival, why it is becoming a survival, because the person's spiritual clarity, his internal clarity is being again and again hampered and taken away by Saturn Ketu. Saturn is bringing retribution, past life deeds, past life results due to the past life deeds, sometimes pain and sorrow, not sometimes, most of the time, okay, Saturn represents pain and sorrow, and Ketu's confusion, clutter, takes away things, sometimes gives loss, so many things, okay, all those problems. So the person's always getting pushed, he is being forcefully pushed onto the darkness, he is forcefully pushed onto the ignorance. He is unable to getting the spiritual clarity, he is unable to get that individual clarity where he can understand his own individuality, his own personality, have a proper self-assessment. Okay, because again in my earlier videos I have said you must watch, okay, whichever seems interesting to you, please watch on my channel. Like Rahu, Ketu, wherever they get association with other planets, their job is to refine them, mature them, but while doing that refinement, they bring in lot of inappropriate self-assessment. Rahu with Sun, what happens? The person becomes extremely egoistic. He thinks that he is something, even though he doesn't have any clarity. Yet he thinks he is very confident, he is something better than others. That is the problem of the Maya illusion of Sun and Rahu. Like that, Sun Ketu, the person becomes no confidence, zero confidence. Okay, he doesn't know how to express their confidence. So here Ketu is there with Jupiter and Saturn. The assessment when you do about the Jupiterian things or Saturnian things, assessment about your work, assessment about your the fulfillment, the knowledge, the whatever the Jupiter represents, the main thing is meaningfulness, which I explained. Okay, so whatever that is, okay, your wealth, prosperity, how prosperous you feel, is my family good all my cousins are so bad, they do not like me, okay, or all my cousins are so good, they're so supportive, they always call me and message me and tell the nice things, my uncles and the aunts, okay. How do you feel that prosperity, the family prosperity? Is my father rich? Did my grandfather leave a lot of property? Okay, so that prosperity, how do you assess that? There again Ketu comes. Ketu brings in difficulty. Probably you are a very rich man, but yet when you assess your properties, you think, oh, it's not good enough. 2 bungalow I have and 1 yacht, but those are not good. I must have one in Italy. Okay, so like that. So this Ketu is always there to confuse, because his job is the confusion doctor. He brings in the confusion so that you ask as many questions as you can in this lifetime and ultimately get that nirvana or the ultimate spiritual freedom, okay, and become completely aware of yourself. What is being completely aware of yourself? What is that? Knowing that I am the Atman, I am the Brahman, I am the Spirit, okay. I am the Spirit, the Holy Spirit dwells within me. Okay, Christianity also says so. Yesterday I was watching a video of an old nun. Okay, she is so funny. So the Holy Spirit is look here and there. Where is the Holy Spirit? Holy Spirit is dwelling within me. Yes, the Spirit, the soul, the Atman, the Brahman is within you. Okay, so that you ultimately realize when you become completely spiritual. But here, that is a long goal. Okay, whether you get it in this life or multiple more human lives you have to live, that is a different case. But that is the ultimate goal of every human being. Okay, now here what is happening, that spirituality is being now again and again, which is your birthright. Okay, your right as a human being, birthright. It is not the right of a whale or a tiger. They cannot understand. Okay, only a human being can. That's why it's the most fortunate birth to be born as a human being, right? Because you have the organic capacity to penetrate within, to understand that you are not only an intellectual being, but you are a spiritual being. You are a spirit, and you are omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. So that is the ultimate goal. But these people are now being confused, and their clarity is taken away by various difficulties and questions and clutter, no matter whatever they do, due to Saturn and Ketu. So they have to do their work continuously, because Saturn Ketu means kind of become like a KarmaYogi, okay, where person gets lost in their work and functions very well, being lost, okay, like in the Saturn Ketu conjunction I have explained in there. I mean, you can click here on the I button and watch the video, like the dishwasher or the scientist who is doing various various discovery on her lab. So here also the person can be in any stage. The person can be a big businessman, can be a scientist or a police officer, anyone, okay, but they continue to be that funambulist, where they have to balance their each step, one step at a time, because when you're holding onto that shaft to balance your life, balance your all your experiences, you cannot run on that cable, on that funambulist cable. Whenever you try to run on that cable, you fall down. Okay, all you can do is take one step at a time. That is a funambulist approach, and one has to do that, continue to work regardless of all this confusion, all this clutter. One has to continue to do that to get that ultimate fulfillment, ultimate goal of spiritual realization or spiritual divine contentment or fulfillment. But that cannot happen in a fast, in a supercar manner. One has to walk slowly and steadily, and that itself is spiritual survival. Okay, because continuously you are protecting yourself from not going into the darkness or ignorance of Saturn Ketu, okay, or the rigidity of Saturn Ketu, because that darkness and the discontentment can bring in the downward emotional spiral where you become depressed, or you become so unsatisfied, unfulfilled that you leave all your work and you stagnate, you become lazy, you stop working, you're sitting on your home, at your home, and instead of becoming spiritual, you are becoming depressed, which is opposite of becoming spiritual. You are misinterpreting your reality, having inappropriate self-assessment about your life, which is Jupiter, and your work, your duties, which is Saturn. Okay, so in order to avoid all that, in order to avoid the depression, that confusion, that clutter, you have to continue to do that spiritual survival by taking one step at a time, by continue to move ahead and not stagnate. If you are a salesman, businessman, a shop owner, continue to open that shutter every morning. You are that policeman, daily you have to go to that police station. You are that researcher, you are not getting that discovery which you have been working relentlessly hard for the last 15 years, yet you have to continue. Maybe you would not get, but the research fellow who is working under you, he will get the discovery. Okay. So like that you have to continue. There is no other step, there is no looking back. You cannot reverse and return. Okay. All the contentment, all the fulfillment, the meaningfulness of Jupiter, which is being now cluttered and taken away by Jupiter and Saturn, Saturn and Ketu, will continue to come slowly. Only if you continue to work. Only if you continue to take one step at a time and move ahead, and then you look at the point A to B, I said, so the point B then would be visible. You would be able to see that your destination. And these three planets, which I said is a spiritual conjunction, it damn well become a spiritual conjunction and will make you the winner and will help you know that why you are different than others and why you were not fulfilled by the petty human experiences which everybody is so happy about. Okay, you will understand all the meanings of all the unfulfilling experiences which took away your sleep or all your happiness. Okay, everything will become meaningful. All equations will get resolved and solved. Okay, but the condition is only one: you continue to take one step at a time. Alright, on that note, I would love to end this video here, and I am sure that this will help you in some or other way. If it does, please give me a like here. You can hype the video and leave me a comment, share your opinion with me, and if you want to talk to me one-on-one, for that please go to my website astrologer8.com and I will see you there live. Har Har Mahadev.